All right, picture this for a second. A loud fire alarm suddenly rings out. Heavy doors are flying open, emergency radios are just crackling with static. Honestly, the sensory chaos is completely overwhelming. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're breaking down advanced digital solutions for emergency mustering. Let's just dive right in.
Right in the middle of all that chaos, there's really just one critical question that decides everything, isn't there? Who is still missing? Look, in a modern facility, guessing is simply not a plan. You literally cannot afford to cross your fingers and just hope everyone got out safely. You need to know for sure, and that is exactly the core problem we're going to solve in today's explainer.
Okay, Section 1, when the alarm sounds. The need to evolve.
So to start off, let's just ground ourselves with a clear definition. An emergency mustering system is basically a workplace safety system that accounts for personnel during an emergency, a drill, or, any controlled movement. But here's the absolutely vital thing to remember. This isn't just about your full-time employees. No way. This applies to everyone on your site. We're talking contractors, visitors, temp staff, and yep, even the delivery drivers out back.
It all really comes down to three simple questions. Three questions a truly effective digital system must answer instantly. Who entered the site, where should they go, and who is safe? Because think about it, if you can't answer these immediately, you risk sending your first responders walking totally blind into danger, searching for people who might already be safe, or worse, completely missing the folks who desperately need help.
Now think about the pure absurdity of using traditional methods during an emergency. Just imagine a safety manager squinting at a paper clipboard or frantically flipping through a handwritten visitor book through thick smoke, with sirens just blaring everywhere. It's a total recipe for disaster. Digital mustering replaces that manual guesswork with cold, hard facts. By using things like RFID taps, mobile app check-ins, kiosks, and live dashboards, your security team can act on instant cloud-based data instead of, outdated paper lists.
So, where does this matter the most? Basically, anywhere high risk and heavy foot traffic meet. We're looking at massive manufacturing plants, chemical and utility sites, bustling logistics hubs, data centers, hospitals, construction sites with constantly rotating crews, and even large event venues. For environments like these, having digital accountability isn't just some nice-to-have bonus. It is absolutely operationally critical.
Moving on to Section 2, Beyond the Alarm, Before and After.
So, let's talk about what happens during a routine drill. Imagine looking at your digital dashboard and seeing that, hey, one department successfully reached their muster point in just 3 minutes. Great. But another department took 7 minutes. Digital mustering gives safety managers the power to instantly track those departmental response times, pinpoint the exact bottlenecks, and actually fix them long before a real fire ever breaks out.
And after a drill or a real incident, nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to reconstruct the timeline purely from memory. Automated reporting logs every single detail for you. It precisely tracks the exact alarm time, check-in times, missing persons, zone clearances, and any delays. This perfectly satisfies strict OSHA standards in the US, and it easily meets ISO audit expectations globally. You are basically turning a chaotic, stressful event into a clear, perfectly auditable timeline.
It's actually fascinating to see how this builds a completely unified front. In a typical scenario, vital knowledge is super isolated, right? Security knows who badged in, EHS knows the emergency plan, facilities understands the complex building layout. But a connected digital platform merges all those isolated silos into one cohesive response. Everyone operates from the exact same live dashboard, which totally eliminates duplicated rescue efforts.
All right, Section 3, Daily Operations, Workforce Visibility.
Mustering really earns its keep on ordinary days. Just think about the daily chaos of a major factory shift change, where literally hundreds of people are swarming in and out simultaneously. The system handles this seamlessly, confirming exactly who is present at any given minute. It tracks those complex, multi-gate entries across large campuses, and it verifies that people are in actual safe zones versus, say, just loitering near dangerous loading bays. This guarantees your baseline headcount is always perfectly accurate for when the unexpected happens.
And here is a very real, very dangerous daily scenario. A lone worker, let's say it's a technician, enters a highly restricted utility room. Now in high-risk areas, every single minute matters. If they fail to check in or confirm a safe exit within a specific time frame, the system immediately flags the exception. It doesn't sit around waiting for a site-wide alarm to sound. It alerts your team instantly, saving vital minutes that could quite literally save a life.
Which brings us to Section 4, Tech and Rollout, Practical Integrations.
When it comes to the actual technical architecture, you generally have two main paths: Cloud-based systems are fantastic. They offer easy regional scaling, centralized dashboards, remote admin, the whole shebang. But critical facilities with incredibly strict network policies, or maybe just unreliable Wi-Fi, often opt for on-premises systems for that local resilience and offline capability. Honestly, many complex organizations just use a hybrid model, making sure they have offline badge-reading fallbacks just in case the main network goes down.
It's also absolutely crucial to understand that your mustering solution shouldn't just live in a bubble. The strongest, most accurate data actually comes from the systems you're already using every day. We're talking about plugging this right into your existing visitor management systems, your access control, your employee directories. Plus, if you integrate digital signage, you can even push live evacuation instructions directly to the nearest screens the exact second an alarm sounds. How cool is that?
So how do we actually deploy this successfully? Let's cleanly walk through this practical 6-step strategy. 1. Map your buildings and zones accurately. 2. Define exactly who must be counted. 3. Connect your access data. 4. Choose how people will check in. RFID, mobile, kiosks. 5. Configure your alerts. And 6. Test and scale. But listen, here's the golden rule you absolutely must take away from this explainer. Keep the first phase focused. Do not overcomplicate it. Accuracy always beats complexity.
Finally, Section 5. Business Continuity, Operational Resilience.
There's a quote from the source material that really stands out to me. It says, post-incident analytics help teams move from "we handled it" to "we improved it." I mean, let that sink in for a second. By aggressively using post-incident data, you transform a static, reactive safety tool into a proactive, continuous improvement engine. It's all about learning, adapting, and getting significantly better every single day.
And that brings us to the core thesis of this entire explainer. In today's world of massive, complex sites and constantly rotating workforces, making safety visible every single day is no longer an optional luxury. It's the absolute baseline. Having that visible daily safety data builds the ultimate operational confidence across your entire organization.
Which leaves us right back where we started. So I want you to evaluate your own facility's readiness right now. When the next alarm inevitably sounds, will your team be relying on cold, hard, real-time facts, or will you be relying on dangerous guesses? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep improving, and please stay safe out there.